Okay, hey everyone. Just want to jump on here live for a minute for a couple of reasons. I wanted to show you some of the stuff I've been working on over the last week or so. I want to try to do this every week. I also want to, I'm still experimenting with getting my restream to work properly and to have it send the video into my Facebook groups. And I'm still struggling with that a little bit. So I'm trying to test it out because next week is Funnel Hacking Live. And although I'm going to be attending virtually from my home here in Scottsdale, Arizona, I still wanted to be able to have the ability to go live, especially after Wednesday, I do believe, is when they're supposed to announce all the changes to ClickFunnels. And I've been told that it's epic. The person I was talking to said it's like a incredibly guarded secret. No one's actually seen it, or very few people have actually seen what it has become, and that is going to be epic. So that's going to be cool. And hopefully, all the videos I've shot over the last 6 months, over the last 3 or 4 years, hopefully all of them don't become completely obsolete because they've changed the software so dramatically that nothing fits up anymore. And I guess if so, I'll just spend a lot more time shooting a lot more videos. But what I wanted to show you today was, like I said, some of the stuff I've been working on. And it starts off with some pretty basic stuff. Let me find the right page here. That's not the one I was looking for. Starts off with some basic stuff where we're just looking at the whole concept of just some hamburger bun drop downs for mobile. And like I said, I start off with the most basic thing you can do, which is this one here, which is really just hiding and showing a bunch of buttons inside of ClickFunnels. And it's actually native functionality in the set action for the button. You could do a hide show, and that's all this really does here. Is when this is a button and this is a button and these are all buttons, and so when I click on one button, it hides some of the buttons and shows some of the other buttons, and all that does. And like I said, that's just built into ClickFunnels. Now with this one here, this is just a text element with a red background around it. And inside of this here, I also have a paragraph element that I just put a bunch of different links in, and then I put some submenus in there. And with a little bit of JavaScript, you can do this. Everything is clickable. Everything is a link that can go somewhere. Or a lot of cases, what you're doing here is you're just scrolling down on the page, or you're having a pop-up open or something like that. You're not necessarily going to another page on a lot of these navigations. So then this navigation down here, this is an icon. These are all buttons, and then the sub items are also buttons as well. So like I said, this is some of the most basic way of doing it. So because I was doing this for my membership ninjas group, I started to say, okay, well, how else can I do this? 'Cause I'm always thinking of new ways of doing stuff. People are always asking me questions. So in this case here, so we got our menu button up here at the top. So again, this is just a text element, and the JavaScript code says when somebody clicks on it, show this thing here. So this just rolls down on the screen. And all this is a navigation element that I use a little CSS to make it go up and down instead of side by side. And so that one's pretty easy. And on mobile, you get the same effect. On mobile, you need to really move this section down a little bit or do something with that black line because it looks kind of clunky. But it's the same effect. It just opens up over the top of whatever the rest of the page is. And then here, let's go to mobile. And on this one here, of course, you'd come in again. Again, this is a navigation element. And as I click on this, it opens up another navigation element right below it. If I click on it again, it closes it. Or if I click on one of the items on the inside, it closes it. And then also you can have just one open at a time because you see how they overlap each other. It didn't really make sense to have multiple open at the time, or you could have text of one behind the other, and that just didn't make any sense. And again, on mobile, this works. It's not great. It would be doable, especially if you didn't have too many items. It'd probably be workable. But I didn't really like this on mobile, so I built this one here. And because this one actually turned out to be quite easy, I put in some bells and whistles. So we have it so everything collapses when we click here, but also you're going to see this little icon rotates around. And then when we click on any of these, again, because a lot of times you're just going to scroll on the page. And if you look here, so the background scrolls, the header is stuck in place, the background scrolls, but we're going to click on one of these items and it's going to close up the entire sidebar. So this up here is our sidebar. And I just noticed here, I actually have these icons swapped. It should have the It should have the bar icon here when it's closed and the X when it's open. So I'm going to obviously have to switch that back. I just noticed that now. That's too funny. So every time you do that, it spins around, it does that thing. And like I said, you can do this, or you can click here and it'll close the whole thing up. Now, one other thing that I'm going to work on today is shooting the videos for these. These are membership areas. And I built these probably a couple of years ago now, and I never got around to shooting a video for it. But like I said, it's going to go into my Membership Ninjas program. And so as you click on one of these sections, so this is the entirety of the page right here. And I thought, well, if somebody's on predominantly going to be using mobile on this, so let's say you got an app where somebody's going to be at the gym, and so you're going to just easily want them to navigate through the stuff, but you know they're going to be on a mobile device or something. Maybe somebody's out picking mushrooms, and so they're on their cell phone out in the woods, and they have to figure out which kind of mushroom they have. I don't know. I just made that up. But so here you open up, you click here and you open up the section. And then when you click on any one of the lessons, what happens is the lesson opens up right here inside of the navigation itself. And so then you can click on another one and it will show it right here. And I'm noticing here, there's some things, okay, that did work. But what I should have done here, and I guess I'll have to fix this before I shoot a video for it, what would be best if I click this here and it closed this back up again. Also the same there. So if you click on this, it does open and close. But here I should have it. So if I click on that lesson again, it should close that. But you can go right through it like this. Now, more advanced version of this, similarly to this, is this one here. And again, thinking predominantly somebody on a mobile device. Let's see what it looks like on desktop. It'll probably look just fine on desktop too. But so let's say we want to open up our menu. We click on the hamburger bun up here. Menu drops down. Of course, you can open and close these sections. But now let's go to lesson number 1. And you see there, as I clicked on lesson number 1, all the bottom slid up and covered up the navigation. But then we can also do our previous next right here and go back and forth through it. So whether you're using my code for previous next or Jamie Smith's great code, you can get it over at CF Pro Tools. It does exactly the same thing. And again, so we can open up this, we can close this one, we can click here, everything slides back up. And I think this one works really, really nice. And so that's it. I'm just working, trying to get as much stuff done in my Membership Ninjas program as I possibly can before Funnel Hacking Live, because once Funnel Hacking Live comes, I just want to basically just completely immerse myself into whatever changes are coming to the platform, get training out on it as quickly as I possibly can. So as always, anytime you got any questions, just feel free to send me a PM in the Facebook. That is definitely the best way to get a hold of me. So until next week or next time or whatever, y'all have a great day.